being groped by a male Hollywood executive, Adam Bennett, at a party. Terry explained that he didn't report it immediately because he was worried about facing backlash, and the reason he didn't react with violence was because he knew what was at stake.
Then, in 2016, while at a party with my wife, I was actually abducted by a successful Hollywood agent. It lasted only minutes, but what he was effectively telling me while he held my genitals in his hand was that he held the power, that he was in control. The first reaction was to be violent, and I immediately held back.
Why weren't you? You're a big, powerful man. Why didn't you?
Considered as a black man in America.
Say it as it is. I think it's important.
You only have a few shots at success. You only have a few chances to make yourself a viable member of the community. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I have seen many, many young black men who were provoked into violence, and they were in prison, or they were killed, and they're not here. My wife, for years, prepared me. She said, if you ever get goaded, if you ever get prodded, if you ever have anyone try to push you into any kind of situation, don't do it. Don't be violent. And she trained me. I'll be honest with you. It was the strength of my wife who trained me and told me, if this situation happens, let's leave. And the training worked.
But has there been retaliation against you for what you are saying now to the public?
Thank you for your question, Senator. One specific incident of retaliation was I've done 3 movies called The Expendables with Sylvester Stallone. The producer of that film called my manager and asked him to drop my case in order for me to be in the 4th installment of the movie. And if I didn't, there would be trouble.
At that time, Adam Bennett was heading up the motion picture department at the talent agency William Morris Endeavor. And while they did conduct an internal investigation, in the end, they chalked it up as an isolated incident, and Bennett was back at work after just a 1-month suspension.
Damn.
In response, Terry Crews filed a lawsuit against Adam Bennett and WME for sexual assault, but WME fired back, saying they handled Terry's claims swiftly and seriously, and they didn't see the need to drag things out any further. In March 2018, prosecutors decided not to press any charges against Adam Bennett. The attorney's office pointed out that the statute of limitations had expired since the incident happened in February 2016, and Terry Crews didn't report it until November 2017. Terry later suggested that his case was really thrown out because Adam Bennett had connections with the LAPD, serving as the event chairman of the LAPD Foundation. But it's not surprising that Terry didn't report the incident right away, because when he finally did, a lot of people, including fellow male celebs, made fun of him, saying he couldn't be a victim because he's bigger and stronger than the man who touched him without his consent. Take D.L. Hughley, for example. He said he couldn't believe that Terry, with all those muscles, couldn't say no.
I think it's hard for me to think that a dude with all those muscles can't tell an agent to not touch his ass.
Just ask for his dick.
Whatever
he touched.
I just do. I don't understand.
And then Russell Simmons, the man who has been accused of despicable crimes and allegedly escaped to Bali to avoid prosecution, had the audacity to personally email Terry and tell him he should give Adam Bennett a pass. But Terry Crews refused to let these creeps silence him and shared a screenshot of the email he received from Russell, where Russell wrote, "Did he ever apologize? Give the agent a pass. Ask that he be reinstated. With great love, all things are possible." However, Terry clapped back saying, "Dear Uncle Russ, no one gets a pass." And that's when 50 Cent chimed in with more ignorant comments and shared an inappropriate meme, referencing Terry saying he froze in fear after being touched. 50 wrote in the caption, "LOL, what is going on out here, man? Terry, I froze in fear. They would have had to take me to jail. Get the strap." and Russell Simmons jumped in the comments and left a laughing emoji. However, Terry once again had a classy response to all these weird comments. Ha tagged 50 Cent, Russell Simmons, and producer Tariq Nasheed, who also made fun of him, and wrote, "You decided my essay was hilarious, whereas there is a whole generation of black women and men who don't think it's funny. There's protected, but they mock survivors as well. When you see me, keep it moving." Now remember when Cassie's...
That's crazy. They want to make fun of that shit. That's a serious situation. He looked like he wanted to cry in that courtroom. A grown-ass man wanted to cry like y'all not getting it. It's easy to say you could have took me to jail, but that's not a guaranteed outcome. If you that big and strong and you beat the fuck out of one of these white dudes, they're going to look at like a victim. They're not going to look at, oh, he was sexually assaulted, defending himself. It was self-defense. That's not how they're going to look at it. Look at what just happened. They said it got thrown out because of statute of limitations. Since when do that work for sexual assault? Like Bill Cosby, they brought up all that old shit on him. Is it a race thing? If you a certain color, then a statute of limitation? Because what was statute of limitation on Bill Cosby shit? That don't even make no sense. But he blessed to have a wife to teach him to be a thinker. Because imagine if he would have reacted like he wanted to, beat the fuck out of him, beat him to death, fucked around, killed him. The least you gotta be worried about is getting locked up. Nigga, them police will kill your big ass and say you resisting. Like, you just dead. Your family, your kids ain't got no daddy. That type of shit. So it's a fucked up situation. And it's all, it's connected on that Diddy shit. How Hollywood connected, oh, you can't get in another movie if you don't drop the case. And then Russell Simmons, you should just apologize. Nigga, what the fuck? I mean, you should just drop it and did he apologize? Like, nigga, who the fuck? You gonna let a man touch you and not do nothing? If I can't fuck you up physically, then I got to expose y'all and let everybody know what the fuck is going on and try to get some money out the deal. This shit is crazy. Everything being exposed. Cat Williams said it's the year of truth. All this shit coming out. Y'all comment what y'all think, man. A lot of people feel like they just would have took that risk on the spot. Before seeing this, I probably would have too. But he's right. That thinking, open-minded shit, it will save your life. So no man never tried to touch me. But before seeing this, if a man tried to touch me, I would have reacted on some gangster shit. And I'm fucking you up on the spot. But after seeing this, he kind of right, though. You got to be a thinker. Because is it worth your life? If it's a situation where I can fuck you up and get away with it, and it's real fast, then yeah, all right. If it's just me and you there, I feel like I could just fuck you up. But in the process of that, you can't predict who gonna call the police, how good a person can fight. He might be holding on for dear life. It might take you longer than you thought. The police can come. They gonna look at you as the attacker, him as a victim. They're not gonna take time to say, pause, time out. What happened? And care and give a fuck and treat you like you defending yourself. That's not what never happens, and we all aware of that. So that's some bullshit to be like, why a big ass grown man couldn't tell him stop touching my nigga. What you mean? Tell him to stop. It ain't no telling, nigga. It's a physical act. You beat the fuck out of him, and then you risk the consequences of that. And that's the hard part. That shit is hard. He looked like he wanted to cry up there. Imagine that shit. I can't imagine that shit. That's some fucked up shit we gotta deal with, man.